Hey, this is Mateo Lane.
I'm Emma Willman.
And this is Inside the Closet.
Inside the Closet.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Doc's Lab. How's everybody doing this evening? Right on. You guys are in store for a great show. It's the Inside the Closet podcast with Mateo Lane and Emma Willem. Give it up for them, guys. Let them make some noise. Let them hear it. They know you're here. They're in the back. They can hear you. Right on. All right, but before we start the show, as a courtesy to the performers and all your fellow patrons, I'd like to remind you this is a live performance and recording, so please keep your table conversations to a very low whisper throughout the entire show, and please silence all cell phones and boners. Also look around, notice any of the emergency exits. They are lit up with a red exit sign. And while you're looking around, how about a big hand for that amazing bar and wait staff working ever so hard for you guys? Let them hear it. It's only 3 of them and a lot of you guys. They're bringing around delicious food and drinks and 2 shakes of a lamb's tail. You guys ready to get the show started or what? You guys can do way better than that. You guys ready to get the show started or what? All right, well, put your hands together, make some noise, and welcome to the stage your hosts for the evening, Mateo Lane and Emma Willman.
Oh my God. Hi guys, how are you? Oh, okay. It sounds like an AA meeting, doesn't it? Oh my God, this is so crazy. First of all, you guys know that this is a podcast recording, right? Clap if you know or if you don't know. All right, good. All right. We were worried because we're like, we're coming out here and talking mainly about sex. But and then we're like, do they yeah, we'll get to it, girl. But it's like, do they know that we're talking about, just as the podcast, like we're recording right now?
Because we're used to coming out and doing our comedy jokes, but this is just, real from the hip. Is my cousin Norma here? Hey, how you doing? Good.
I don't think is my brother here? Oh, hi, Vince. Okay.
Oh, welcome. Thank you.
All right, work. Okay, cool. Well, then we made it. All right, so...
and thank you guys so much. I just can't even believe that anyone listens to the podcast.
Yeah, does anyone here listen to the podcast?
Yeah.
I can't believe that many people listen.
Yeah.
Can I be honest with you? Emma and I are shocked that
anyone... Shocked. Not because it's great, but I just can't even...
People showed up. We were like... I don't even know...
I thought it was just going to be Norma.
I thought it was just going to be my brother.
Yeah.
Norma and Vince.
Yeah.
All right. Well, and we're going to take questions from you guys later.
Yeah, we got a bunch of questions we got to answer from people that have written in.
Someone wrote like 7 pages, and I was what is wrong with you?
Yeah.
Oh, I said a question, not your whole life story. And I know that's a nice thing, but also at one point we skipped forward and it was just like, and then I love acrylic nails. And it's like... can you just highlight the question?
It was a whole backstory, and then I was like, all right, I'm going to try to get the meat of it. And then she goes, but who doesn't love a good acrylic nail set? I'm like, God damn.
It's stressful to read those questions.
I kind of like it.
Everyone hates us and yells at us. We say such stupid things.
That's not true. A big majority of it is people asking about getting set up with Mateo.
Yeah, hi. I'm such a thought.
But that brings us into one of the big things we got.
Well, first of all, before we get into that, can I just talk about has anyone ever taken a nap? And what is that you just ordered? A mountain of broccoli? What is that? Oh, it's a kale salad? Okay, it looks like a Seuss village, like a Dr. Seuss. Can I show that to the audience? It literally is this a salad?
This?
Dr. Seuss. Oh, there's Jodie Foster behind you. What a lesbian show. All right. Hello.
I will not go on stage if Jodie Foster's not up here as well.
I love her. I loved Contact. That's such a good movie.
I didn't get into that.
It's too long. You didn't get into Jodie Foster at all?
No.
She almost got the president almost got the president did get shot for her.
Who? Reagan
got shot for Jodie Foster. I know he should have gotten shot. Should I not say that? This is being recorded.
Of course Reagan should have gotten shot.
Yeah, okay. Anyways,
all I know about U.S. history is from my mom being like blah blah blah, and Ronald Reagan invented crack cocaine. That's what I know, and he did get shot. Yeah,
he did get shot. Yeah. It took me a second to remember. I know.
Right.
He wasn't good to the gays either.
No. He literally started the crack prop.
Dude, we don't know what we're talking about. Neither one of us knows.
I cheated in history class, but I specifically remember my mom saying that.
I cheated throughout all of high school.
Me too, but Ronald Reagan really was a dirtbag.
Clap if you cheated in high school. You have to. Look at these good kids. You didn't cheat at all. I
used to spend more time cheating than it would have taken to just study and learn the stuff.
That's how you win in life.
I was thinking about that. I used to spend hours figuring out ways to cheat when I'd be like, no, I'm not studying states and capitals. I'm going to like learn Braille and encode it into an apple. Easily going to get a C, idiots. It's awful.
Do you think we would have been friends in high school? I was like a frail deer in high school.
You know, probably. But I went to such a tiny, like, rural high school that I actually, because I didn't want anyone to think I was gay, I was mean, or I was like...
You didn't want anyone to think you were gay, so you were a mean lesbian?
Yeah. But I wasn't a lesbian. That's what I had my
I know,
boyfriends
but, like,
and all that, and I gave blowjobs and stuff.
Yeah. A hard blowjob.
And no, I was like, I like read about it. I did the whole stuff.
You love reading about sex.
Yep. Always. It's like makes me feel more comfortable when I go into the situation.
Because you've read up on it?
Yeah. I'm like, I know what this is. And then, no, but yeah, I remember with the blowjobs, I like read all about it and like, you know, the top of the penis and the fucking buzz and all the different, all your different.
You obviously didn't read that much because in an earlier episode, you thought that balls held urine.
But when they tell you.
So you must have skipped through some of the reading.
No, but in Cosmo, when they're telling you how to give a blowjob, they don't.
Cosmo should not give advice to anyone. I wouldn't trust them with a plant.
But when they tell you how to do that stuff, they don't tell you like what they don't tell you about like what's making pee. They just say, oh, they like it when you do this, and they like it when you touch the tip.
But they also say stupid stuff. It's like eat an ice cube and then go down on it. Who wants a cold mouth on your dick?
I have done that so many times. Not with the blowjobs, but I used back in the day when I was doing it with girls.
You would suck on an ice cube and go down on a girl?
Yeah, I feel
so she feels like she stuck her pussy in a freezer.
Norma, if I say anything that's too much, just let me know.
We're going into it. My brother doesn't care.
It's my beloved family.
No, see, I come from a family where we argue every year over so many things. But like one year, my sister was showing my sister's like into fitness, like in the fitness world or whatever. And so a lot of times, like women have like enlarged clits. That was the conversation at Christmas.
From the steroids?
Yeah. So my grandma wanted to see what that looked like.
No.
Yeah, it's a typical
inappropriate.
Isn't that true, Vince? Yeah. Okay.
He's left. He's
already embarrassed. He left. But wow. Yeah.
Okay, but yeah, so I did all the blowjobs, all the stuff. Did all the reading, get interested in reading up on the sex
How did
stuff.
we get into sex this early?
Well, what I initially wanted to catch up on was Mateo had like a date come visit because in the I don't know if anybody from the last podcast he was going to have two guys come visit
at the same time,
but one of them he had said he had good boundaries and he said, hey, nothing's happening. This is the Ohio guy. He said, nope, nothing's happening.
Yeah, you guys remember this?
But then
all right,
the Spain guy was coming in, so he said Ohio guy can't come, and then the Ohio guy got snowed out and just Spain came.
Yeah, I'm embarrassed to say this out loud now that there's people here.
But you had a good time.
I did have a good time. So I originally had this guy from Ohio coming who's awesome and great. And then he literally, I told him, I was like, oh, if you come, like, just letting you know, like, I'm now into this, like, Spanish guy. But I was, like, really open and honest about it. And then he ended up, there was a blizzard, so he couldn't get in anyways. So the whole thing got canceled anyways. So I don't know. But then the Spanish guy came, and then I, like, fell in love.
Really?
I just bought tickets to Madrid. That's how it went really well. I know. And it's so ridiculous, too, because he kept, like, now, like, I don't know what I'm doing.
So, right when because you went to go meet him at the airport.
Yeah, I met him at the airport, which as a New Yorker is the worst thing to do. Because I had to pay for the cab to go to the airport, so I was kind of mad about it.
Yeah.
But then I got there and we immediately started making out in the airport.
And you had met in person before?
No, never. It was a total Instagram love affair.
That is so much pressure.
Yeah, but I don't know. It kind of worked out.
Because what would have happened if you met up and you didn't like each other, and then he would have just been staying
I would have
in your
panicked
place?
and drank a lot.
Yeah.
And played Mario Kart. I don't know what I would have done. But I kept getting, like, every day was, like, another injury. Like, I kept, like, one day, like, I burned my finger making coffee, like, really bad. And then one day, we had sex, and I swear to you, I bruised my prostate, and I was, like, keeled over. Like, I couldn't move. And then another day, I got the flu.
If you had been reading about sex, you would have known exactly what, why, what, when, how to prevent it. I would have been like,
oh, there's pee in my butt. According to you.
I 100% just was like, what? But it's a joke. I get it.
It's a joke. But every day there was something else where I was just like physically injuring myself and looking like an asshole, and he was still like, I love you. And I'm like, all right, fine, we'll get married.
can I ask about when you guys first had sex? Were you like nervous?
No, that part I'm least nervous about. The sex part's fine.
That's great.
I mean, isn't that strange? Anyone clap if you like are more comfortable having sex than a conversation on like a first date. See, look at these gays. Not you, not lesbians.
I don't know.
I prefer to talk.
Well,
I'd rather have an emotional conversation.
Now that I'm not drinking, I guess.
And talk about nature.
Yeah, now that I'm not... Well, because I still have never had a one-night stand.
That's a lie.
No, it's not a lie. I had a one-night stand.
I'm watching you lie right now.
No, I'm not lying.
You're lying right now.
I swear to God.
Never.
No,
you've gone on Craigslist hooker dates and you've never had a one-night stand?
Yes.
That's a lie. If you're the man, you've had more than one-night stand.
No.
What?
One time I went back...
Why are you doing this? Why are you lying to me?
I'm not lying. I swear on my mom, I had the one... I tried to have a one-night stand, and then we ended up dating for like a couple months.
Okay.
And yeah, that's about... And the one-night stand, when I thought it would be a one-night stand, like it didn't...
No lesbian can have a one-night stand.
I thought the one-night stand, it was on New Year's Eve, and we started talking because my friend that I was with and her friend started talking, and then they went off, and then me and her were hanging out, and I remember we ended up making out, and I was drinking at the time, and then I was like, do you want to go you want to go somewhere and talk and see if we had anything in common?
See?
And she was like, it's New
amateur.
Year's Eve. Nothing is going to be open. Like, what do you, it's like, she's like, either I'm going to go back to Connecticut or like I can come back to your place. And I was like, all right. So we got a taxi. And then I remember she was wearing a skirt. And we were
on
back
New Year's, she was wearing a skirt?
Yeah.
It's cold.
No, because I remember being in the back of the taxi, and I remember like,
are you gonna finger
her legs
me?
are spread, and then I remember like
what are you doing?
Touching her in the taxi, and then all of a sudden I go.
You look like you're trying to stop her from like getting into a car crash.
Yes.
This is how you have sex, Emma.
Yeah,
this might be your problem.
Have sex. I know. I got to read more books. But I remember specifically because I was drunk, and I remember doing stuff in the car, and then I stop. I go, I don't even know you. So dramatic. And she was like, well, what do you want to know? And then I remember she was like, you don't do this a lot, do you? And I was like, I've actually never done this before. And she's like,
I noticed you put a life vest on me.
I said, I've never had like I've never just like met someone, I've just gone back, whatever. And she's like, okay.
Well, then did you have sex?
So she goes, well, what do you want to know? And I said, I said, are you anti-Semitic? I said, I don't even know you. I don't even know if you're a good person.
What?
Yeah, her name was Judy Tan. She actually lives in San Francisco now.
What kind of question is
I don't
that?
know. I was drunk.
Are you
I was freaking out.
anti-Semitic?
Yeah, I don't even know you.
First of all, you're the farthest thing from a Jew.
I know.
It wouldn't even slightly...
But, I'd have... So I go, I don't even know you.
What's wrong with you?
This is great what she says. Like, I don't even know you. I don't even know if you're a good person. She goes, what do you want to know? I say, are you anti-Semitic? And she goes, are you Jewish? And I go, would it be a problem if I was? And she said no. And she was like, of course not. And then she was like, well, is there anything else you want to know? And then I was like, when was the last time you were like tested for like any STDs or anything?
God, way to suck the fun out of this one night stand. You just drove her to a clinic, waited, got her tested, went to the police station, checked her fingerprints.
There was one time I was with someone.
Turned
on
a white noise machine and went to bed. A great one night stand, Emma. Wow.
But when I said, when was the last time you were tested, she had she goes,
you need to read a book on one night stands.
I know. Well, I don't know if I necessarily want to even get into that, doing those, but then she goes, I have recently been tested. What my job is, I do AIDS research. So her whole thing was she did awareness around STDs and AIDS stuff. So she goes, I really appreciate you asking me that because this is literally my line of work. And I was like, let's go back to my place then. Do you think she was lying?
No, but I think you were. I'm shocked she didn't get out of the cab and run home.
Yeah, because she could have been. She maybe was making fun of me. Actually,
I hope so.
She might have been.
Yeah,
because she said that's actually as I'm retelling it, it seems a little too good to be true. Because she said, "Oh, I do AIDS research. That's my job." That's a real kind of dirtbag thing to say. If she was lying, like if someone's like, "When was the last time you tested?" You're like, "Oh, that's what I do."
I don't think you should have a one-night stand again. I don't know if it's in your best interest.
What do you even? Where does it even? How does it even begin? How do you say from the jump that it's gonna? Do you just do really dirty stuff the first night, and then you're just like, oh, we can never see each other again?
Yes.
But if someone and I connected like that sexually, I'd be like, well, what do you think about the world? Like if someone like right from the beginning was like, fuck me in the ass, I'd be like, whoa, tell me about high school. Because I'd be like, how did you get from this to that? Does that make sense?
Gays will function very differently. Every gay in here is like, like.
I used to ever think.
Not that every gay is a slut, but and I'm not saying I'm a slut. I'm not even slut shaming. I'm just saying it's like, sometimes you just jump to anal.
Right.
Sometimes you skip names. I learn people's names after.
What's more personal? Is it more personal to anal sex or blowjobs?
I'd rather anal.
Does anybody do hand jobs anymore? I had a friend, really. I had a friend Jennifer who said she wanted a date couple. This was a while ago, and she said she felt like she was in high school because they went to a movie, and she said she gave the guy a hand job at the movie.
I mean, I'm so embarrassed. I have no words to say. How old is she?
I mean, if I'm 32, then she's probably like 28.
Okay, she's too old.
But she thought it was funny. She's like, I couldn't believe we did it. She's like,
I've never messed around in a movie theater. I've never had sex in public. Oh my God. I haven't. I don't know. I know.
I go straight to anal. I've never had sex in public.
But I haven't. I'm having anal. I'm like Martha Stewart. I'm like in my bed. Well, okay, so once I gave head to a Chicago cop in the back of a cab.
That's amazing.
So I guess that's public, right?
Yes.
That was a wild time.
Was he in his
My brother
uniform?
knows him too. He was really hot. And then I think he went crazy.
And your brother?
He like choked someone, but if he asked, I would do it again. I would 100%.
Was he in the cop uniform?
No, he wasn't. I mean, if he was, I probably would have died from excitement.
Of course.
Yeah, but we were at Sidetrack, a Chicago bar, and I don't know if it deserves a woo, but we were there, and I don't know, it was fine. But Clap if you've had public sex.
Yeah.
Oh my God, where do you have sex? All right, where do you have sex? Like, where's public sex? This is wild. I'm shocked. At a bar?
Park. No,
like in the bar bathroom?
A park is very common.
A beach? What?
Yeah.
At a beach? Really? You're not worried about getting sand up your
You have to put down
butthole?
a towel. It's like a whole thing.
But other people are going to see you, no? Not at
night. And you can go scout the place during the day.
I want to know the weirdest place you've had sex.
I've never had sex on a beach, actually.
No, I've
Almost
never. Anyone have like a really weird place you've had sex
Graveyard.
before? In a tree? A church?
In a church.
Well, church makes sense. That's kind of hot. It's like Jesus wouldn't like it, but he would,
Right.
you know. I think Jesus was definitely gay.
I think...
What?
Ooh.
Where? I heard Zoolander. I was like, I don't know what that means, but... Disneyland.
Wow, Disneyland.
And did you do it like in Epcot? On the people. What's the people mover? I've never been to Disneyland or Disney World.
Was it like an adults day or were there kids around? Graduate from what?
In California, the seniors after graduation go to Disneyland.
Seniors in high school?
Seniors in high school
That's
go to
fucking
Disneyland
awesome.
and just
That's great.
fuck.
That makes me feel better that there
They
weren't
fuck
like
on a teapot.
little kids around. Yeah.
What's that set that's like the tea set that goes around or something? The silver teacup set? Who gives a shit? All right, so Disney World. So I guess I'm kind of a prude still, I guess.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
So the guy comes in, you guys have sex, and then when did you start having your feelings? Like, at what was it like right away?
Almost immediately. It was like my Mediterranean blood flared. I was just like, I don't even know what he kept saying. Is like, I'm gonna make you mine, and he did.
Oh, I love that.
He like legit made me his. He did the right thing of making me jealous and attracted to him.
I have a question. Did he only say I'm gonna make you mine when you guys were having sex?
No. Like all the time. He kept kissing me. It worked.
Because that can be the thing. I remember with the Boston girl, I was saying stuff that I was like, oh, I probably shouldn't have said that when we were having sex. I remember when we were having sex, I was like, I feel so embarrassed to say this, but I was like, you're made for me, you're perfect. Like,
yeah, he kept saying
but
all
I would
that
only
too.
say stuff like that when we were having sex. And I don't even know why. I think I was transferring the intimacy I wanted from my last relationship too quick into this fucking thing.
I think I liked him.
Which wasn't fair to her.
I like him because he liked me for I'm like a weird person. I want to listen to Maria Callas, and I'm weird. I draw all day. Like I
don't think that's that weird.
No, it's not weird, but it's not like I don't know. I'm not like on a gay kickball team, and I don't know. I was on a gay volleyball team once named Ursula's Bitches. That was the best. We made my friend Jesse serve. My friend Jesse has no hair, but he still like wipes away like it's not there. I don't know. What I'm trying to say is like I'm like a weirdo. Do you know what I mean? Like he kept asking, is like, oh, where do we go dancing? And all we do is comedy. So I was like, I don't know, dancing. Dance what? Where? What do we do? Applebee's? I don't know where we would go. I have no idea. So it was
That's why dating's hard, because inevitably someone will say, well, what are your interests? And I go, oh, I'm trying to make it
comedy.
entertainment.
It's just comedy. Yeah, I just talk to other comedians all
You know
day
what
long.
I say sometimes?
What?
Okay. I say, I love whitewater rafting. And then usually they don't ask a follow-up question. Because I went whitewater rafting.
Where do you even go whitewater rafting?
I did it. If I was lying, I'd be like, I used to go on the Allagash.
What's that?
It's a river.
Where?
It's just, I loved it. I did. I've been whitewater rafting when I went to summer camp before. But that was way back.
Are you lying again?
No,
Are you lying right now?
In summer camp, but that was way back, but then I pull up the memory to make it sound like I'm more well-rounded now. So I go whitewater rafting.
What is this instinct to lie?
Because I can't say I have no hobbies. I'm just trying to make it an entertainment.
You have hobbies. You don't have hobbies.
I have no hobbies.
No.
Everything I read,
my hobbies are I hang out with drag queens and I do comedy. I really should become more well-rounded. Although I feel pretty well-rounded from that.
Well, you just told me today that you were sponsoring needy children.
No, but don't get too excited. There's an app, and it was like, $15 a month, and I felt guilty, and I was like, I should do that so I don't go to hell.
Yeah.
So I did it.
That's great.
So I spent $15 and then like $100 on a new video game.
And how many people have you told about that you're sponsoring
your
children? Oh, that's great.
Just you. And now everyone here. So the good deed, yeah.
I'm going to be using your good deed for that for myself.
Is it wild that I'm going to like date this Spanish guy? I think international dating is fun, right? Everyone's giving me a mixed response. I'm into it. The thing is, like, I'm traveling so much anyways.
It's really tough to get to know someone in an actually, like, sustainable sense when they just come visit because it's such a whirlwind of fun and romance.
I think that's what I need.
Which could be great, but then it can be so hard when it's like we have to, like, actually, like, level out, like, how would this really work long term?
I guess I'll figure it out. I mean, I'm going to Madrid, so I just bought tickets.
And then you're going to stay, and then...
I'll probably marry him. And then I'll do comedy in Spain. Hola, todos! Yo soy gay! Okay. I was trying to speak Spanish to him the whole week, but I speak Italian, so I confused him more than anything. At one point, he was just like, just speak Italian to me, please. He's like, your Spanish sucks. I was like, I think it's pretty good.
Does he understand any Italian?
They're pretty close. I mean, yeah, they're pretty similar languages, but I just kept using Italian words, and he was like, please stop. And it was like, okay. I also sound like Mario when I speak Spanish. Like, woohoo! I mean, I sound it's so embarrassing when I speak Spanish. Does anyone speak Spanish here? Okay, work. Yeah. All right.
For you.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm
now,
embarrassing.
Has he been like out of the closet for a while?
Yeah, but I don't think his family likes it. But he's out. You know what I mean?
See, I love that because I was thinking this.
So you love?
No, I love it when someone's out of the goddamn closet. And I'll tell you why. Because it's hard, and I appreciate that shit.
Yeah.
And I understand if someone's like, "Oh, I can't," because like when the person I was with for 2 years or 1 year, or whatever it was, that I really liked.
The person that you're still friends with, living with right now?
No.
Okay.
We're going way back now. This was not the person to living with, not the Boston, not the person that, not Libby. Then.
Why did you say her name?
Whatever. Then the Italian one who worked in finance.
You love Italians.
She was in the closet at her job. Of course.
Wait, why do you love Italians?
Just so much personality. But of course, I would never judge someone for being in the closet in a certain situation. But when someone's in the closet,
no, I'm kidding.
But when they're in the closet because they're not comfortable or haven't dealt with their sexuality, that's really tough. Because I felt like the person I was with most recently being in it then put me in the closet, and I was like, your internalized homophobia that's and discomfort with your sexuality and like lying to like even your close friends. Like she would have friends that were bisexual and she would be lying that she was anything.
Is it worse to lie about your sexuality or that you're a professional whitewater rafter?
I never said I was a pro. I wasn't like, and I'm really good at it. I just said I said,
if you're bringing that up, like first things first, it's implying that you're good at it.
Ask me if be like, do you have any hobbies or what do you do?
Hello. I'm a lesbian. Do you have any hobbies?
You know, I'm doing comedy most of the time, so I don't get to do this a lot, but whenever I can, I love to go whitewater rafting. It's so therapeutic because it just takes you out of your head and you're just like, you in the river.
She doesn't believe you immediately.
I did it. I did. You in the river. It's just. It's really. It's all your senses. It's electrifying.
Whitewater rafting with my father. It was a lot of fun.
Did you ever get bounced out of the raft?
I remember one time I was whitewater rafting, and it was a real rocky river. And I said, "Daddy, my father is Vincent Minnelli." I said, this river is really kind of bumpy. And he said, "That's not a river, Liza. That's your sister, Lorna." I hate my sister.
We gotta have you do Barbara.
Oh, yeah. Barbara. I started talking about Barbara. I want to tell you a story. You can never see my face when I do it on the podcast.
Pretty good.
From Shark Tank. And then people tweet me Barbara quotes, and I love it. Or like people will be like, for that reason, I'm out. Like, I love her so much. You could play a good Barbara.
You think so?
Well, you have the short blonde hair. You could be like, just close one eye and show your teeth, and then you're Barbara. Do it. Do it right. No, can you not close one eye? That's kind of. That's it. But go like that. Yeah. And then make your hair like this.
I don't watch the show enough.
And then ready? Okay, look at the audience. I want to tell you a story.
I just look special.
About a young girl. This is Barbara, who became a waitress. And when she was struggling, she got a loan for $1,000. And from that loan became known as Barbara I'm out. That's pretty good.
Thank you.
That was good. All right. Improv. I would be a terrible improviser, by the way. I'm too selfish. They'd be like, and now we're on Mars. I'm like, you're an idiot.
There's a big contention between stand-up comedians and improv people.
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
Probably because improv, I think...
You're about to regret what you're going to say.
No, you know what it is? I think in a way that stand-up comics are almost like jealous that they can have other people on stage that can like take the heat too. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Because in a way, it's like if you mess up, it's like, oh, we all messed up. In comedy, if you mess up, people are like, guess who messed up?
Me!
You messed up.
I did a joke yesterday at the Cellar, and the whole set went well, and then one joke, I did a Wendy Williams impression.
Big club in New York.
And then they got really mad at me. Because Wendy Williams was talking about Beyonce. I was not saying it. Wendy Williams was talking about Beyonce. Because someone brought up Beyonce, and I was like, Wendy Williams. And people are going to get mad at me for saying it now. But Wendy Williams always says, she's like, Beyonce's a very beautiful girl, but she has the speaking level of a 5th grader. And I know. Damn. But see, that was the same response yesterday. I know, it's brutal. But Wendy said it. I was impersonating Wendy, and about 150 people just went... And I was like, oh, God. Like,
she said that word for word?
Yeah, multiple times.
Damn.
I know, isn't that wild?
That's big shit.
And Beyonce is smart. I'm also saying that so my career is saved. But and then I said something about Mariah the other. I mean, I always talk about Mariah, but I said I did this ET interview, and they were like, "Oh, talk about your favorite divas," and I was like, "Oh, Mariah Carey's my favorite diva." I was like, "She's best singer-songwriter of all time." I was like, "I love her."
She wrote some of her songs.
All of them.
I didn't know that.
Every single one of them.
Good for her.
Except for When You Believe and covers or whatever. But I'm a faggot. But then I said, but she's made some questionable choices.
Sure.
Which we can all agree with. I mean, outfits, glitter, everything. And these Mariah fans came after me. They're screaming, you're a nobody. I'm like, I know I'm a nobody. What's this argument here? I'm coming out to say I'm better than Mariah Carey. No. But clap if you think Mariah Carey has made all good choices in life. There you go. Are you nervous right now?
No, not at all.
You seem really nervous.
No, I was just thinking about Mariah Carey's choices.
What if sniper dots are just on our forehead because of Mariah Carey?
Yeah.
She's shooting us. I don't know. All right.
We have a bunch of questions as well.
Are you going to die?
I'd be so fucking pissed.
If you die, God, the ratings for the podcast would be fabulous.
I feel like I'd be so angry because I feel like I'm just getting my life together right now.
Why don't you just cough? You're trying to pretend that you don't have to cough, but you really have to cough.
I don't want to be rude.
Just cough, because now we're all uncomfortable. And don't drink more water.
I got to tell you guys why I'm drinking so much water.
Go on.
I found out that I'm vitamin D deficient.
We're not going to find it in water. You've got to read more books, Emma. Your theory of reading just doesn't work. I spent all my time
reading about sex, and so then I'm limited in knowledge and other things. No, but so...
Go on.
So I'm mega dosing on vitamin D, so now I'm trying to flush out my system. This is what happened.
We just had brownies and lemon meringue backstage, too.
Not pot brownies. Not there's anything wrong with that. I know that's what it sounds like.
Are you an anti-Semite? What is this date? No, we haven't even got ordered yet.
Not that anything is wrong with pot brownies at all. We just got some pastries.
Pot brownies are not a group of people we're going to offend.
No,
you don't have to worry about...
Someone's blogging.
Yeah. And she spoke about the pot brownies. Protest!
Is pot legal here?
It is legal here? Oh, okay.
That's right.
Should we...
Congratulations. Oh, really? Oh, that's awesome.
January 1st
Congrats.
work.
That's awesome.
Who has pot with them? One person. All right. I don't smoke pot. Every time I smoke pot, I'm not like I'm not really a drinker either.
I tried smoking tons of pot in a way to make me not
You're
drink.
so ridiculous.
I was like, I gotta stop drinking, so I was like, I'll smoke pot instead, and then I just smoked tons
of pot.
It's an addict
I gotta
mentality.
smoke drinking, so I'm gonna go smoke a shit ton of pot.
Yes, that's addicts. Addicts replace one thing with another thing if they don't do the self work to then not need the
sweets.
thing. But not in a problematic way.
I thought you said it was problematic.
Nope, it used to be when I was a child, but not anymore.
Yeah.
Now, it's not about what you're doing, it's why you're doing it. So as long as I'm doing, like, the spiritual work or whatever, then, like, I don't need to consume.
Okay, I'm not trying to throw you under the bus. What spiritual work are you doing?
I've been going whitewater rafting. No, I'm just I've been going.
Can you and I go whitewater rafting sometime?
It actually is really fun.
Oh, I would love to go. It reminded me of that scene in Homeward Bound where Sassy died.
I mean,
which I believe Shadow tried killing Sassy. That is my theory on that movie. That it was Shadow's mission to kill Sassy. He killed 2 cats in that movie.
I don't remember.
He killed the big cat, remember? And like when Sassy died, he was like, "Good, she's dead. Wait, let's go." I mean, I hated Shadow.
I don't remember that at all.
You don't remember Clap? You remember Homeward Bound? Remember? It's like a weird movie. But it's like, I'm going to get into it. No one gives a shit. But like Peter was the one who owned Shadow. What happened? I don't remember it that well. Oh, what happened is Peter was like, Shadow, we'll be back in 2 weeks. Shadow, the old senile fuck, was like, Peter's gone, let's go! And just like ran into the forest and put Sassy and Chance on the brink of death.
Did you relate to Sassy a little bit?
I was Sassy.
Yeah.
I was Sally Field as a cat. That movie, by the way, their mouths don't move when they talk, and I had seen Babe first, where their mouths moved, and then when I watched Homeward Bound, 15 minutes in, I was like, who's talking? I had no idea who was talking.
Oh, I do kind of remember that now, actually.
Yeah. I was so confused. Shadow. I wish at the end, you know how they each come up one by one, right? It's like first Chance, and it's like Chance, and then Sassy. Why would Sassy come? And then you're like, Sassy, you know. And then when Peter looks at the hill, he'd be like, "Oh, he was too old. He couldn't make it." Credits.
I gotta rewatch it.
If you rewatch it, you will hate Shadow. That's all I'm saying. You might remember as a kid like a fun old dog. No. A cat murderer.
He's a bad guy.
He was a horrible guy. Lying about moose and bears. He's an idiot. What does a house dog know about moose?
Sometimes people need to lie a little bit.
And Chance was right the whole time. I'm really getting into something no one cares about.
I'll watch it.
But that's what I care about.
So this is
Go home, watch it, and tweet at me. Let me know what you think, all right? I want to know.
I will do that.
Okay.
So this is what happened with the vitamin D. So...
Sorry.
Oh, no.
We're back to vitamin D.
Yeah.
I started taking vitamin D because you told me to take vitamin D.
Yeah, and other people might be deficient as well. Deficient's a strong word. Because they came in, they're like, you're deficient. I was like, I know. In vitamin D. I'm like,
Also, you spelled your name wrong.
Yeah. Oh my God. I got a new doctor, is what it was.
Also, you go to questionable doctors, like when you got like something, you got like dental work done once, and you were like, I found this guy. He seems kind of weird. He's from Russia, and he like everything is like weird. And it's like
he asked
above
me if I
like
wanted TV teeth, and then I had to pay him cash. And then he gave me like 10 grand's worth of teeth for like
that man's also selling crack
for $3,000. But look at these teeth. I'm so happy with them. Thank you. Harlem Dental. Yeah. He was literally doing a cleaning. I want you to bring
money, middle of night. You're like, you got it.
Yeah. He was doing a cleaning, and he was like, so what do you do? And I kind of like tiptoed around it, and then I said something about it's been on the news for something on Channel 7, like a quick blip, and I mentioned that. And I was like, yeah, actually, that's why I want to get my teeth fixed. And he goes, oh, you want TV teeth? I was like, yeah, I want that.
No, I want garbage
And then,
teeth.
like, literally, when he said TV teeth, I said, I want that. The mood, everything changed. He was like, all right, well, we can talk after. I was like, yeah. What do we need to do, man? And then we got the ball rolling. And he was like, I'll give you a discount on these veneers if you pay me cash and come in at weird times. And I was like, do you have, like, examples of your work? I said, do you have examples of your work?
All he has to do is show you anyone smiling.
Shit. Damn it. No, but they were.
I mean, he did a good job. Your teeth look great.
Thank you. But I'm pretty sure the pictures were in his office, I believe.
Okay.
But I asked my mom. She was like, sick with worry. She couldn't believe it had come to that I was even considering that.
What'd she say?
She said, she was like, this is just, I don't even see what are you saying? That this dentist, who is this dentist? Why? I'm so many questions. Like, why are you even considering this? Like, what, you need to get it together. This is not good.
She made it sound like you were going to chop off your arms.
I think in her mind, like, a lot of things had gone wrong for me to be at a point, in my late 20s.
To be at Harlem Dental?
Paying cash to a dentist to get TV teeth.
It's pretty wild.
That was pretty, it's kind of like a lot of moments had to come together for me to be like, I'll give you cash for teeth. You know what I mean? Like, like it was like a real meeting point of lots of decisions were like coming to fruition with me just handing that guy cash.
A lot of decisions,
I was so pleased. I really was happy with the TV teeth.
No, but you're calling them TV teeth. They look good, though.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I swear to God, though, I got a sneak peek of my the crashing episode, and I'm smiling like an idiot the whole time. And I think it's because I was like, while they were filming me, I'm like, I'm on TV.
You're like, I paid for these TV teeth.
So I'm smiling too much, and I look stupid in it because I'm like, it's
They
too
took
much
out
smiling.
my episode in Crashing.
Fuck.
I did an episode of Crashing, HBO's Crashing, and I did like a roast battle, and it was against Sam Morril, and then they emailed to be like, we're not using it. I was like,
Did they leave him in?
I mean, it would be weird if he's roasting himself.
Oh, yeah.
Or just like roasting an imaginary gay guy.
Right.
And he's like, yeah, because he kept, all right.
But people get cut from stuff all the time, and they reached out to Mateo and sent him a very nice note, which is not common when you get
They were
cut.
like, we didn't like you.
Right.
And I was like, thank you. No, they were nice. They were very nice. They're like, we liked you a lot, but we didn't use you. And I was like, I don't think you liked me that much. But it's okay. I was happy to be involved.
Yeah.
I got paid. I don't give a shit.
Totally. And people, that kind of stuff happens.
Yeah. Did I ruin the energy?
No.
Are we going to go back to vitamin D? I think we're done with vitamin D.
Out. Yeah. So I got this new...
I mean, what could possibly... And that now you're taking vitamin D pills.
Well, no. There's a little smidge more to the story.
Did you go to Harlem Dental
No.
for this? Did you go to Harlem Vitamin D for this?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Just a guy named Vitamin D on the block. I'm Vitamin D. I got your day, Vitamin D. So I got a new dentist, and they were all like,
why?
Not a new dentist. I got a new doctor. But the only people that could see me like right away, they were like, most people are like booked out way in advance. These people were like, oh, you can come in right now. So I go in, and they all had Eastern European accents.
Hello.
Yes. And I was sitting in the lobby drinking coffee, waiting for my doctor's appointment, and one of the nurses comes out and goes, oh, you think this is cafe? And I was like, I'm just in the lobby. I thought I could drink coffee out here. She goes, not a cafe. And I was
Be
like,
like,
no.
oh, sorry, I was wondering where the milk and cream was. Like, you idiot. Like, yeah. Like,
And I was like, all right. And then we went into the room to weigh me, and I like put the coffee down, and she goes,
to weigh you. I keep thinking you're at the dentist. I was like, why is the dentist weighing you?
He did do that.
Yeah.
But
Get on the scale, naked. Get in tube of water. I must take your breathing. Like, what?
I love my heartworm.
And you'd be like,
guy.
all right, I'm going. Like, what do you need me to do, doctor? I'll take a lap in the pool.
I wouldn't have taken any clothes off. I would have caught on to that.
Would you?
If he, yeah. My spidey senses would have gone. I'm very sensitive to energy, so if it got weird like that, I would have been like,
I want you to remember that you said that, so next time we jump into a conversation,
because I
can say, where were those spidey senses?
When someone's being creepy, see, my spidey senses were going off with the vitamin D place. They were going off because I was like, I think this. Do you ever do this where you think when someone's being really weird to you, you're like, oh, I wonder if they're being homophobic?
I think people are homophobic all the time, but I think that's my own insecurity.
That was the only thing I could think, because the woman was just roasting me in the coffee, because I bring the coffee in and she's like, you bring it with you wherever? And I was like, hey,
yeah, bitch, I'm drinking coffee.
Yeah, and so I said to her, finally,
I'm going to go in there and I'm going to bring a fleet of coffee mugs.
So she ended up being really nice, but I said, is there a problem with me? And then I was kind of like,
you pull out a knife.
I was like, I said, is there a problem with me and my goddamn TV teeth? No.
Yeah.
I was like, is there a
Your
problem
teeth
with
too
me?
bright. This is not sun.
I would have been elated.
Yeah.
But then she was like, no, there's no problem. And then but they were like mean to me at the place. And then they ended up taking my blood. And I thought I would be allergic to stuff. I'm allergic to nothing.
I don't think they take your blood to find out if you're allergic to stuff.
Mm-hmm.
No, they you go to an allergy, they prick you, and then they put what that thing is.
They took so many tubes of blood. I'm 100% positive that you need that to get, because I remember thinking it was
to get
a lot
allergy
of blood.
tests, you can get like the thing on your back, like right? Isn't that okay, Emma?
No, this is a legit doctor.
There's confirmation.
It was in Gramercy Park. It was a very nice office. It was a ritzy area.
Clap if you think hold on. Clap if you think drawing blood is how you figure out what you're allergic to.
Yes, because they were testing me to see if I was allergic to like cashews, walnuts.
They do the prick test. Clap if you think it's the prick test.
Well, maybe this is a more thorough way.
But I don't think they would do a blood test if you came in there fine.
They took so many tubes of blood, I thought it was weird.
Did they give you sugar or anything afterwards?
No. And afterwards, I was like going to an exercise class. I was like, can I exercise after this? And she was like, no problem. Should I call them?
I think we should call them.
No, because I remember because she was really good at taking it. Like, sometimes they're poking around and you're like,
yeah, that's the warning sign.
She didn't do that. She was really good. It was just like, burp. And then I looked at her and I was trying to make nice. So because of our whole coffee thing, I was like, my brother's a nurse. And she was like, okay. And I was like, yeah, I was really proud of him. He really got his life together and became a nurse. And then she was like,
she's like, I don't care.
Then she said, that's nice. And then I said, thank you. And she goes, don't thank me till the end. And I was like, all right. And then at the end, she goes, now you thank me. And I went, thank you.
One time I got a facial.
But then it was shit tons of blood.
One time I got a facial and it was a Croatian woman. And I like moisturize now, but I wasn't moisturizing. And so you're obviously like insecure. You know what I mean? Like I'm clearly going for a facial. And so I lay down and she looks at my face and says out loud, oh, we're going to need a miracle.
That's awful.
I was like, maybe just keep it to yourself. Then she drew tons of blood. Tons. I was so dizzy.
Well, because I was like surprised at the amount of blood. Like I was like, that's a lot of blood.
How much blood?
I'd say 4 to 5 tubes.
That's normal.
But like thick tubes.
If you said 4 to 5 bags.
No. But it was like some tubes, and I was like, okay, fine, whatever. And then when I called in to get the results, they said, you're not allergic to anything, but then said you're deficient.
I don't know if that's how that works.
Man. So maybe
I went to an allergist, not a doctor. I went to I'm so Chicago.
This was a nurse.
I went to an allergist, and they were like, to find out what you're allergic to, like tree and pollen and like nuts and stuff. Yeah, you have to do they do a whole, they literally prick your arm and put
Why am I
drops
always is it me?
Yes.
I should have researched this doctor.
Yep.
But they popped up in my new insurance, and it was right in Gramercy. I thought it was like, Well,
I mean, I'm not a doctor, so I don't know, but it sounds, I would say, ugh.
Damn it.
Do we think she should go to a new doctor? Oh, God, Emma. What if they're using it to clone you?
That would be insane. I mean, who would? I mean, that would just be. I mean, there's so many. That would be like if someone was like, that's the one. We need 2 of those. We need 2 of those.
Why? You're gifted. You're talented. You're good looking.
The idea would be they'd just put us in a room, and our combined ADD would be so bad we would both combust.
So you're almost like 2 atoms put together, and
I'd be like, "Hey, you look like me. Hey, you look like me. What's your name? What's your name?" And then I'd be like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, whoa!" And then that would be the rest of our lives. What?
You just hear like sirens, like, "Woo, woo!" Yeah. What happened? They talked about whitewater rafting, and they exploded.
I go whitewater rafting. I go whitewater.
Just TV teeth flying everywhere.
Should we get to some of our questions?
We should get to questions. No, we should have them ask questions. Why? We'll do the emails later.
You guys don't have to feel any pressure.
I know, but does anyone have questions they want to ask? All right, we have some questions, and we'll warm up. We're all friends here.
Thank you so much.
So, she's a woman's Eastern European. This is Emma's doctor and dentist. Yes. Whew. She wants to know. She said we made many jokes about our people, which we actually didn't. I think we didn't make jokes about
Eastern Europeans. First of all, thank you for taking the high road on that. 100%.
Well, that was called eloquent shade.
The truth is, and the truth is that they were Eastern European had absolutely nothing to do with the story, and I apologize for even.
Why are you apologizing?
The only reason I even mentioned.
Thank you. Let me
tell you, the reason I even would mention it is because
it adds to the scene. It's where you were.
Because I think it added to me finding her like abrasive. But I was like, is this a cultural thing? And I didn't
Here's
know what
I'll say about
on.
that. When you speak another language,
I wouldn't let someone take all that blood if they didn't have the language. I'll tell you that.
If you speak another, okay, I go to Italy a lot, and so I'm fluent in Italian, but not like there's like. They could still tell I'm not from there. So sometimes when you're speaking a language, you're just trying to be the most direct because you're trying to get your point across. And because you're not as eloquent with the language, I've used that word too many times now. It sounds like you're being abrasive. You're saying you're being too blunt. So a lot of times we talk to people who aren't American, they're foreign. You're like, oh my God, are they being rude? But no, they're just trying to communicate exactly what they're thinking.
Right.
And that's like what the disconnect is. So, but it's also quite charming. I mean, the Croatian woman didn't have to say, we need a miracle. I was like, there's no reason to translate that. Like,
also,
keep that to yourself.
You think this is cafe is a little. That was the first thing out the gate she said.
Well, I love that she was just a straight up bitch to you right away. So whitewater rafting.
Like,
yeah. I don't care. What's whitewater rafting? See, she's being blunt. She's trying to get to the point. I love her. What's your name? Annika, right? Work. All right, give it up for Annika.
Yes.
Whitewater rafting it's ridiculous. A bunch of idiots get into
it's actually a very fun nature activity.
It's like, a bunch of people get into it's just putting yourself in danger. You get into like a boat, not a boat, a raft.
You go to a raft.
And you just go down a river that is going to kill you.
It is different levels.
That's it.
It is different levels of rapids, and then you have a guide that like kind of like maneuvers you around the rapids, and then you row as he rows.
Yeah, you call it the white. I don't know, they're racist, but that's why. We should change it to gay water rafting. Because it is kind of gay. You're in it, you're like
I think
bathing
it's called
suit and
whitewater rafting because it's on, it's like white water breaking.
Well, because when the salt water, right? Or like it looks like white, I'm
going to tell you this, and this is going to.
I don't know.
It's when all the water's like swirling around, and then it's like.
Wait, why is it called whitewater rafting? Because why?
White caps.
White caps? Oh, but I was right. I didn't know what the word was, though. Who knows? Who gives a shit? I'm never going whitewater rafting.
gave us an out from being slightly offensive and asked about the rafting.
You're welcome. Where in Eastern Europe are you from? Bulgaria. Very cool. I know how to say nothing in Bulgarian.
We can pull up a picture of whitewater rafting afterwards.
We don't need the reference.
There's some books I can recommend.
Yeah. And all you learn is that the water raft holds urine. Does anyone else have a question? This is a great chance to just answer questions live. You can also ask us any questions you want. It doesn't have to be about, like, sex. Yeah. Oh, I'm saying this out loud so people listening at home can... Okay, so he's saying they're familiar with my Instagram, so I'm already embarrassed. Yes. Oh, is Stavros as sweet as he looks? I love Stavros. I would say Stavros is sweet.
Stavros is a very different shaped person from Mateo.
Stavros is a fully... How would I word this?
Buxom.
He's a rotund Greek man. So if you look at my Instagram, I'm naked in every photo, and so I'm sorry, but Stavros has his own Instagram, Stavi Baby. Yeah. So for those who don't know, Stavi Baby, he does like naked photos, and I was doing naked photos, and I was like, oh, and he's Mediterranean, so am I. So I'm like, oh, we should just do photos together. So we did. We're actually going to make more photos together.
It looks like a before and after picture.
Kinda. But he's really sweet. But Stavros is really funny. He's like a true, like, I don't know how to describe sweet. I don't know if I would describe him as sweet. Oh, then you know that. Oh, he's a wonderful guy. I mean, I would say sweet is like hello, hi. You know, he's like more. He's funny as fuck. Yeah. I mean, I don't think I'm sweet. Oh, thank you. I can be pretty rude. All right, well, that's a great question. And then, we're going to make more pictures. Just us naked. We're trying to figure out what the theme's going to be, which I don't know if we need a theme. It's just like, get naked. Poor Phil, who does our photos together, has to take pictures of me and Stavros naked. He's like a total straight guy. And Stavros is straight. But, he's just like... it's questionable, yeah. He's holding a roasted turkey over his dick. But, which is really gay. We made him a Christmas tree.
Would he be what type of gay would he be?
A bear.
Really?
A bear or a cub, right? Stavros is a bear. Yeah, he's a bear.
Even though he doesn't have any hair at all?
He's got some hair on him.
Is it just,
not a lot?
Is that
more
just
hair
like
than
a category
he does.
that like guys get put into if they're like super out of shape? That's kind of what I'm wondering. It's like, he's a bear. Like,
I will not field this question.
Okay.
I think we should take live questions, Emma. I don't know if we should answer. Well, maybe if no one else has any other questions. But anyone else have questions?
Also,
someone raises their hand like, we don't like you.
You put so much work into your body that when you post photos like that on Instagram, it's like...
Is it? You're
putting in work. You put in work to do it.
I took a nap and feel like I got hit by a bus. So I look horrible. Yeah, what's your... Yes.
So I know nothing about you guys before tonight.
Oh, this a man who knows nothing about us, so this is great. Go on. So far impressed, yes.
What do I need to know about you guys?
Oh, what do you need to know about us? Download our podcast. So, I'm teasing. I don't know. I'm a neurotic homosexual who's Italian and part Mexican and Irish, but I know nothing of my Irish heritage, and I'm now in love with a Spaniard. That's my history. We're stand-up comedians. I should have started with that.
And we're both going to be doing Netflix, 15 minutes on Netflix.
Yeah, I guess we can say that. We both got Netflix. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. It's so exciting. Can I just say that this is so wonderful and I'm like nervous? Can you tell I'm nervous this whole time? I just can't believe people came out to our show. It's so nice. I'm like really shocked. And my brother's here. I don't know where Vince is. Vince, where are you? Is my brother not here? I'm going to kill him. Or maybe he is here. Is he here? Point. Where? Where is there a man who looks just like me? I can't see. Okay, my brother didn't come. He will be hearing from my lawyer. All right. Anyone else?
Yeah, but we both live in New York, and then we both work pretty like mainstream clubs. Yeah. And then how the podcast came about was I know for me, I was always like, I don't want to do something that's too gay or this is too much of that. And I was always overthinking about that.
I was the opposite.
And then he was like, why don't we just do something where we don't even like worry about that at all? Like I was also always so hyper. Like,
can I say like the inspiration for this podcast, the way we do it, we prepare nothing. I don't like listening to, I mean, they're great. I personally don't like listening to podcasts where it's like too formatted, where it feels too much like television. I just want to be in a conversation. Like, I used to draw for a living. I was an illustrator. I would draw TV commercials. And so I would just sit and draw all day, and I just wanted to hear talking. So I listened to the Howard Stern Show. And my favorite part of the Howard Stern Show is the first hour, where it's just him and Robin talking. That's it. There's no structure, no nothing. I just love the chemistry between them. So that's my ride. And I also listened to a podcast called PNS Explosion. Oh my God, is there PNS fans here? Oh my God, work. It is not for the faint of heart. If you want to listen to a podcast, I'm telling you, it's the most offensive podcast ever. But it's 3 gay men, and they say the most horrific things. But that podcast inspired me more than anything, I think. It's really wonderful. But did you even listen to podcasts prior to this?
Nope.
So it's easy to convince Emma. I was like, Emma, how about we do this? We don't prepare and just talk.
But I did morning radio, which was extremely structured. Hey,
yeah,
work. How you doing? I'm gonna do Taylor's show on Tuesday. Thank you so much, man. I miss. Oh man, it was so funny. The tagline for the radio show was "Hey girl, hey," and then I would meet people and think they were coming in from the radio show, and I'd be like, "Hey girl, hey," and they'd be like, "What?" I'm like, "Fuck, never mind." Shit.
Wait, we have a question back there. Yeah.
Oh, everything would change.
I don't even know how to get more listeners. I just promote on Instagram.
But if it was video.
It was video, but then I don't want to have to look
then we'd have to try to do hair and makeup.
I would come in I would look like Michael Jackson. I'd put like the thing over the glasses, the wig. I mean, you wouldn't see me. I'd look like Lindsay Lohan's Instagram, a memory. I would just make it blurry as possible. I wouldn't do you want it visual? Oh, thanks, well, man. We are trying. Thank you. Oh my God, this is the best night of my life. I don't know. We're trying to work on getting a TV show this year. Well, we're doing Netflix, so that'll be a good start. And then
when people just like record onto podcasts, then I guess people do. We know that we're friends with the Brilliant Idiot guys, and they do that, and it works out well for them.
Charlemagne and Andrew.
Yeah.
Maybe we will. Also, the studio we're in, I don't think I'm so Mariah Carey. I'm like, the lighting isn't good. I would need better lighting. So, yes, you have a question?
Yeah. How did you get started in comedy as a gay comedian, and what would you have done differently?
Great question.
Okay, who wants to go first? Because I have a great answer. Yep. First of all, I would do nothing differently than what I did. Being a gay comic, like a gay male comic, is the minority in comedy, even though there's a lot of us now. But in the grand scheme of things, there's not. And there's no mainstream gay comic like this, like a Bill Burr or Richard Pryor. And then there's women, there's lesbians.
Who's the most mainstream gay one?
Well, Mario Cantone,
right,
who deserves more credit than he gets. There was Ant. Oof. I mean, I'm trying to think of who can name.
There was Ant indeed.
Can anyone name a gay comic who's like huge?
A man. Gay guy. Oh yeah, Todd Glass. He just came
Todd
out
Glass
recently,
for
though.
Sure. Yeah. A man.
Guy.
Paula Poundstone. My dad has skinny legs and a big body. I love her. On Wait, Don't Tell Me. And she had a questionable past, but who cares? I love her. Okay, so anyways, I got started. I don't even know how I got into I decided to get into comedy after I watched Joan Rivers. I loved Kathy Griffin and Ellen. And I also say for gay men...
So you watched it growing up?
No, I listened to just Ellen.
I can't believe I've never asked him this question.
And then Kathy... Well, I always thought... You know how we have a lot of our friends who are comedians? I mean, most of them are straight. Actually, all of them. I mean, there's a lot. But... No, it's fine. I mean, there's a small group like Joel Kim Booster and Julio and Guy and James Adomi and all that. But a lot of guys grew up as comedy fans. They listened to Richard Pryor or Bill Hicks or Carlin, all of them, right? And I think it's because they were speaking a language that straight people could identify with. As a gay guy, as a kid, I just didn't get it. I just didn't identify with it. And then when Kathy Griffin was around, she was speaking my language. Suddenly it was the first time someone was speaking to me. And then I saw Joan Rivers and was like, I didn't know that was even possible in comedy.
How old were you?
I was 18 when I saw Joan Rivers. That changed my life. I memorized her 2007 special called Before Melissa Pulls the Plug. It was an amazing special. She comes out, right? And I knew who Joan kind of was, but I didn't. And at the time, it was like Kathy Griffin and Joan Rivers really compared. And Joan Rivers comes out, and the first thing out of her mouth, she goes to the audience. She goes, "If you're old, pick up your walkers and crawl out of here, you old crumbs. I hate old people. I hate ugly people. I hate children." I was in love. I couldn't believe that this woman existed. So from that, I knew I wanted to do comedy, and I got into it because my friend Anna East was dating a great Chicago comic named Marty DeRosa, and I knew nothing of comedy. There's a whole system to comedy that is like only comedians know, right? And I said I want to do comedy, and because he liked my friend, he's like, "I'll give you 3 minutes on my show." So of course, 38 members of my family came. And
how did you even begin to know to try to prepare stuff?
Well, he told me, he's like, "You have to prepare 3 minutes. So write jokes for 3 minutes and then do it." So I was trying to imitate Ellen or like Kathy Griffin.
It's so interesting.
And Lisa Traeger was on my first show.
3 minutes is a very hard amount of time because
having never practiced,
3
it's
minutes
impossible.
is so tough because if you're actually going to really try to do it, you'd want to get, a laugh every 30 seconds. No, more than 30 seconds, every 15 seconds. So that's you break it down even to the amount of words. So when you're working on a late night set, you go, okay, this is a certain amount of words, and then the laugh point needs to be here for it to then translate into the amount of laughs per minute that you need to get for a 5-minute set for TV.
And
so 3 minutes is fucking rough.
And doing comedy, like the way to really do comedy is you have to go to open mics, and open mics are very brutal, especially in New York. And they're basically, you get 2 minutes in New York City. They light you at a minute 30, so you only have, that means you have 30 seconds left. There's probably 70 comics in the room.
It's a very toxic environment.
Everybody, but it's also good.
I love it.
You throw your name in a hat. They don't even the host does no jokes. They just say, "Here's the next 5 comics. So-and-so, 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 so-and-so. Go." And you go up, you do your, I moved to New York City, first night, I did open mics 3 to 4 times a night for a year and a half until I started getting bar shows.
I have a question.
Yeah.
What made you persevere when it was really tough? Like, because I remember there were certain times I'd be like walking around in the middle of winter and, getting blood drawn and just,
getting new teeth, getting blood drawn.
Yeah, like, whoo! No, but I remember there'd be certain points where it'd be like, and then, like, there'd be times where it's like, I was really diverging off from my, like, friends that were like, at night would be like, "Do you want to have dinner?" or whatever it is, and I'd be like, "I can't. I'm out doing these fucking open mics."
Oh, you don't,
and
it's
just brutal. But it'd be like,
date.
What keeps you? What kept you going through?
What kept me going was 1, I'm competitive, and 2, I loved it. I feel more like accepted by comedians than even gays sometimes.
Sometimes
it's just a weird group of people. And you have Evan Williams was my open mic buddy, my best friend, and so we every night we just do the city, go together, go to open mics, Saturday, Sunday. You don't date, you don't party, you don't have other friends, you just do comedy. And it's weird because people are like, oh, like everyone else is like dating and running around and having a good time, and I'm rushing around the city to go to open mics. So literally, dating. The reason I'm so like with the Spanish guy and everything, it's all kind of new for me because I haven't dated in 7 years because I've just been doing comedy.
I didn't even date for 3 years when I was first starting with open mics.
I don't think you can.
But I did have some. I had a girlfriend right when I started, and she was great.
Yeah, but eventually, you just lose everyone.
Right.
And you just become a comedian.
100%.
Yeah. It's a weird, but now I think about it, I'm like, oh, people go out and dance and drink. I'm like, oh, that doesn't sound like fun. Then I remember how badly I wanted to be on stage and how happy I am on stage. I don't feel like when I was living in Chicago, I just kept feeling like I was missing something in my life. I was just like, what am I missing? Everything. And I had a boyfriend and that went horribly wrong. Like, I just kept and then once I found comedy, I was like, bingo, got it. And I don't feel like I'm missing anything now.
Really?
No, I feel great. I mean, obviously, I could have more sex, but
that's something you can control for sure.
Yeah, Grindr.
Wait, there's one other thing about. People always say, comedians had to have like such screwed up childhoods, and then people will be like, maybe that's not true, but I have a theory on that, and that is you have to be able to draw on something that was worse than being like totally isolated and humiliated and unsure of everything, and that lends itself to having some like fucked up childhood memories that you can be like, well, I got through that, so I can get through this.
Yeah,
because a lot of comedians that I know did have,
weird.
It's kind of like what came
people
first, but it's like something along the way. I remember someone asked me that on a date once, and I was like, this is the end of this motherfucking date. No. They were like, I know I shouldn't have judged this girl so much for asking me that after I asked. But I remember she was like, so is it true like all comedians are like super fucked up? And I was like, I mean, what do you want me to say right now? Like, I mean, I didn't say that to her. I was like, no, not at all. Like, I don't know why. You know, I think some of them, but it's just like with anything, not all of them. But in my head, I was like,
I don't think comedians are more fucked up than normal people. I just think there's something in us that feels like we have to get that out for the world to hear. I don't know what it is. It's like a neuroses, a compulsion. Like there's also one thing I love about comedy is that I'm always sitting with people that I would never have ever sat with in my entire life ever. You know what I mean?
You could get that at like an AA meeting or something.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, I could. That's true.
Have you ever been to a self-help meeting?
No, I would not be able. I would have to leave. Because my friend Evan Williams. Does anyone know who Evan Williams is?
He's really
we'll have to bring
him.
Okay, we'll have to bring him on. But just talk to this man, Evan Williams. What's going on? He's my best friend, but he goes to AA meetings. But he's so dramatic. I would go with him just to make fun of him while he like tells his dramatic stories. Because everyone, it will be funnier if he was here.
Very good looking guy.
Very good looking. All right. Anyone? Yes. Question.
Two questions. Quick one. Can I commission you to do one of your X-Men runs for me?
Yeah.
Sure. We'll talk. I hate doing commissions now. I'll tell you why. I have drawn.
I'll do it.
I'm not making a joke. I'll do it. Okay. You asked me to do it. I'll do it. Who do you want to be?
Cyclops.
Okay. Work. That easy. I'll do that. I have drawn. Okay, does anyone know my history as an artist? Okay, so some people don't. I have drawn my whole, before comedy, it was just art. I was living in Italy, I was painting, I was illustrating TV commercials, I was illustrating at bat mitzvahs when I was 14. I mean, all I have done my whole life is draw, all day, all night, draw. And then finally one day I was like, it's enough. Like, I just can't draw anymore. Like, now I just draw for myself because I'm trying to find my way back to enjoying art just for me because I've been drawing for so many people for so long. So I've just been adamantly saying, like, no to people. So I'm sorry if that came off rude.
Is it like when you have, like, a joke you've told a million billion times and someone's like, can you say that thing? And you're like,
no, I don't know. It's hard to describe. I'll do it for you. But, so, not to be rude. But, yeah, in my head, I'm like, this is, like, my own thing I'm trying to come up. Oh, and what's your second question?
Yeah, I love it.
No, I haven't watched it yet.
So
And, it's based off Joan Rivers.
Yeah.
In the early 60s. Yeah. And a woman from Amazon told me, what do you mean no? Yes, a woman who produced it told me it was. It's based off Joan's early life in the early 60s when Joan was in the Village trying to make it as a comedian.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm such a Joan Rivers fan. I know everything about her.
I'm trying now. I've been like trying to focus on. This is going to sound real, like with acting, because acting is so much about like reacting. So I've been picking certain shows to not watch what the lead person is saying, but literally just watch how everyone else is reacting around them. And I did that with Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, and it's so good.
All I watch is the British Bake Off. That's it.
I have
the British
yet to
Bake
see.
Off. Oh, someone was. What I said? Mary Berry should never smile. Somebody had a question back there? Yeah.
Are they known for that?
Okay, thanks, Mom. Someone wanted to know if me dating the Spaniard gives me fear and anxiety. No, I think one of the reasons I'm naked on Instagram all the time is because it'll keep me wanting to like look that way. Does that make sense? Let me just say this. The working out thing is a family business. My sister, who you should all follow on Instagram, her name is The Katester. Yes, you should follow her. She's an IFBB pro, so her whole job is like fitness, like the people like on stage, and she travels the country. So she, 2 years ago, gave me a plan. She gave me my diet. She gave me my workout, and she told me how to do everything. So are you going to follow her right now? Oh, you should also follow Lindsay Lohan because it's wild. But it's better than Game of Thrones. But yeah, so it's kind of like the family business. So I call my sister all the time for like extra workout tips and this and that. And I also like it because I'm a person I like routine.
It's also something you
routine.
can do that's like a balanced thing that like I've been going to Pilates myself.
Well, you also keep going to Pilates classes that are above your skill.
Yeah, but I've been ever since New Year's. That was my thing. I've been going to Pilates.
But didn't you go to a class that was like way advanced and you were like, whoops?
Big mistake. in Pilates, everyone, that was like a big. They were like, I hope everyone knows this was the advanced class, and I went, fuck. They were like, where did that come from? I'm like, that fucking.
Didn't you go into the wrong AA meeting once?
I did that one time too. I went into it was so bad. I was like, I'm gonna try like going to being around other people that are not drinking and like see what that's like. And I went in and I went in about 10 minutes late, and it was all women. And they were the first woman was like, oh, I didn't binge eat on a cruise. And then this other woman was like, I didn't overeat at this family thing. And then by the fifth woman being like, I didn't overeat after this guy put me in a stressful situation, I was like, I'm so sorry. I was looking for the AA meeting. And this woman goes, the AA meeting's down the hall. This is a Lesbian Overeaters Anonymous meeting. I was like, that's a thing? All right, I eat too many cookies from time to time. What's up, guys? How you doing?
Sounds like a porn category, doesn't it?
Nah, if you saw these women, it would not have been a porn.
Like, I'm into that. Yeah.
Yeah, this would have been a real specific type of porn then. For.
Does anyone else have questions? Yeah, striped shirt.
Yeah. So one, you could be on loosely exactly Nicole at any point. Two, what is hanging out with Nicole Byer?
Oh, Nicole Byer. No, Nicole Byer. I have not been on Loosely Exactly Nicole. And all of my best friends have. Sashir and her. No, Nicole is one of my best friends. And I love her to. I was actually texting her today because when I go to LA, I stay at her house. And she and John Milheiser live together. John Milheiser is a great comedian in LA. And they're like my LA family. When I go to LA, they make me feel at home because I do not like LA. So when I go there, I feel very at home. I love them. And what's hanging out with her is exactly what you think it would be like. It is a wild ride. I mean, she is. Do you guys know Nicole Byer? She's the girl. She's the black girl I'm always naked in the pool with. She is one of the most fun people you'll ever hang out with.
She was on Girl Code. I opened up for her at a couple colleges when she just first started doing stand-up.
The Eastern European woman's leaving. Bye. Take care.
She's like, I learned about whitewater rafting. I'm out.
Yeah. Are we boring, you guys? Is this boring to you guys? Okay, sorry. I'm so needy. No, but she's wonderful. She's really great. And someone else had a question back there. Yes. Do we want to write a book?
You know,
what would your book be about?
I'd have to see like it'd be like something about dyslexia probably.
So no, it wouldn't. It'd be like backwards, like fucked up, and
no, it'd be. You know, I thought about it because I did like the college market for a while, and like with colleges, it's all about like what's the angle, and
I swear you're a used car salesman.
Yeah. And so for colleges, I was like, oh, okay. I should start doing like harnessing difference for like the power of you or fucking, you know, whatever. It's something like that. Like it's not different. It's not a disability. It's a difference. I'd find some fucking dyslexic thing and, you know.
Okay.
Okay. That was like my real answer. That was my real answer.
To answer your question,
if I was trying to seem like this is the raw real deal. Like the real answer would be like,
look at how
no, not really. But were the situation to arise where I felt like I could, like, you know, harness that into something?
I'd want to either write like a cookbook with my sister, which no one seems interested in.
If you can get enough other things popped off, then you've got a sweet window where you could do cookbook. We could really do whatever.
I'd write a book about how to do whistle tones. That's it. Yeah, poor Mariah.
I think that could be a good like YouTube tutorial.
Just so that over and over.
Can you can teach someone how to do that?
I don't know. I don't even know how I can do it. That's it. That's pretty.
I feel like we're like dogs are gonna like in the street. There's dogs like. Actually, watch it not be dogs. Watch it be like ferrets are outside.
Yeah.
And we're like, oh my God, and they're just like
prairie mice.
Yeah. But. Yeah, book, you know, I read Amy Schumer's book. I love that. I read Kevin Hart's book. That was awesome. I read Kevin Hart's book. I highlighted some stuff. I swear to God. I loved that book. It was great. And Amy Schumer's
should make a book of all the things you've highlighted in other people's books.
Oh, my God. It'd be the weirdest mix of...
but it would be perfect to call it dyslexia. I mean, none of it would fit together.
Well, I actually read, like, super fast.
I have synesthesia.
All my stuff happens with when I'm trying to spell and write stuff. That's where the dyslexia kicks in. But I'll put that in my dyslexia book.
I'll write a book on synesthesia. Yes. Was there a question in there? A 7-page letter? What? Oh, yeah. Oh, don't make her read it. I couldn't believe I mean, that's so nice that someone wrote that, but 7 pages. It's like, we have only 45 minutes on the podcast. We're going to go through 7 pages of your goddamn life. All right. Did you have a question? Yeah. If not Mariah Carey. Who would your dream podcast guest? Who would my dream podcast guest be? Probably Liza Minnelli. I would love to talk to her. I go any form of Liza. I will take any version of Liza Minnelli. I love her so much. I think she's fascinating. I make fun of her a lot, but it's because I really do love her. She's wild. She's such a character. Her eyes are like, I look like Liza. I really do. If you cover the mustache, I look just like her. I'll never forget the first thing my mother said to me. She said, Liza, call an ambulance. That's from a PNS joke. I take a lot from PNS Explosion, by the way. Liza and the lesbian voice.
They talk about that on that show, too?
They do the lesbian voice. It's their VAG girls is what they call it. It's Alexis. What are the names? PNS fan? Alexis? Yeah, one of them. I don't remember. Anyways, yeah. Anyways, other questions? I don't even know how long we've been. Oh, the red light went on. We have 15 minutes left.
All right.
Was this entertaining so far?
Oh, my God.
All right.
What are they going to say? They're not going to be like...
No, they just say 15 minutes left. The red light went on.
yeah.
Is that 15 minutes? Okay. It's my brother. Yeah. He's running the light. Do you guys have questions? No, I'm not showing you my butt.
Now he's taken.
I got booed at an AIDS event once because the same thing happened to me. I was on stage to do comedy, but I followed a group of strippers. So, I mean, this is a typical gay show, right? It was
strippers?
Yeah. It was male porn stars, strippers, and they were auctioning off crochet jock straps to help AIDS. I don't know. So,
if they're stripping around and their penis gets hard, does that like what
their
happens?
penises never get hard. But so then for some reason I wasn't first. I was after the strippers. And so that's a whole, you can't put sex and then comedy, so, and gay audiences are notoriously just like, we're just frantic and the worst. And, if you're not Kathy Griffin, they don't give a shit.
Do you are you more nervous when you have to do comedy in front of gay?
Yeah, because they're always kind of like, if you're not a drag queen or naked, they're confused, They're like, what's he doing? It's like, we hear this at brunch. Where's Joan? They don't care. So, and I, whatever. So, I was nervous. Dixie Lynn Cartwright was the drag queen hosting the show who I fucking love. So the strippers go out, everyone's hot and horny, and then the host goes, now it's intermission. Intermission after 7 minutes? What's wrong with you? So they did everything you're not supposed to do. So then everyone goes and gets more drinks, they get more drunk, now they're all hot and bothered. And then Dixie came out and she's like, okay, here's your comedian. And I go out and it's 200 gay men just so loudly talking over me. And I'm literally up there, I'm like, anyone, how's your day? And then, so finally, what happened was, I said, is anyone going to listen to me? And someone goes, well, listen if you put on a jockstrap. Woo! So then I got furious. I was like, you won't listen to me, but you'll listen to that weekend at Bernie's in Vegas known as Britney Spears. And that's the reaction I got.
Oh, yeah.
Booze. And I was like, I am not giving up. I was supposed to do 15 minutes. I did 6. And everyone's booing me. And
so
I'm
you got off early?
Oh, I was screaming at these gays. I'm like, I'm sure you're all masked tops, but I've been watching you mince and prance for the past, just screaming at them. Yes. They hated me. And then I got kicked off, I was like, fuck you. I walk off. I go backstage. All the strippers are looking at me like I made the wrong choice in life.
Right.
And it was wild.
Did you get in trouble with the producer?
Oh, no. Okay, so Bob, the drag queen, and I were in Chicago at the same time this summer. Bob, give it up for Bob. And I was there for a wedding. He was there for some show. And I was like, even though we see each other every day, I was like, let's hang out in Chicago. I was like showing him around. So we were walking around the city, and then some guy came up to me and he was like, Mateo. And I was like, I don't know who you are. And this is in front of Bob. And Bob was like, you were vicious. And I was like, yeah, but you were there. He goes, I was the booker for that show, the crochet jockstrap show. And I literally...
that's how he referred to it too?
Yes.
Like that's like what the show is known as?
Well, he tried to apologize by emailing me being like, I'll send you a jockstrap. Like, fuck you. That was the whole reason I got mad.
So he knew that it was a tough setup.
He's an idiot. So in front of Bob, I just turned to this guy. I was like, you're the worst. You were horrible. You set me up for failure. And Bob's like, what is going on? But I let him have it. Oh, I'll be mad to the day I die.
Do you think you would remember it so well if it wasn't in front of gay? Because we've each done tons of shows where it's like
I don't know what
awful
straight
setup.
show would have men in jockstraps stripping for AIDS.
True. I mean, but I've done so many shows where it was like set like just like me in like a cafeteria while like lunch is happening.
I'd rather that.
Yeah.
Someone had a question way in the back. Yes. Oh, I thought someone rose their hand. Oh, never mind. All right, all right. If anyone has any other questions.
My sister did that once she came to a comedy show, and she saw when you host and then the comedian's time's up, you light them like this. And she saw me doing that, so there was a comedian on who she didn't like, and I looked over and I saw her going, and I was like, no! I was like, you can't do that. And she's like, this guy sucks. And I was like, yeah. I was like, but no. And her and I like look a tiny little bit. I was like, woo! We don't really look that, but yeah.
All right, we can take one more question, and I think we have to go. Yes. I love Emma's mom impression.
She's doing. How's she doing? She's doing all right.
What's your mom's name again?
Susan.
Can you do the impression of
Susan Cheever Hand Weaver?
Can you do the impression of your mom and dad talking to each other because they hate each other?
They don't. I mean, now when they see each other. This is a pretty short little thing, but when they see each other, she'd be like, Susan, Jeff. Things are well. Things are well. How are you? Things are fine. Good. That's about it. But that's an improvement too.
Susan,
Jeff.
They just say each other's names. That'd be so weird to go up to Emma,
Mateo. That's when it's just like, there's lots of history.
Yeah.
But my mom's doing pretty good. You know what? She's so funny. Like, I told her about with the Netflix thing. She's like,
Are we allowed to say that?
I think so. This won't come out for a little while.
Whatever. Who cares?
By the time this comes out, it'll be like us like teetering on going to film it. So
yeah, we're going in 3 weeks.
Yep. So I told her that, and she goes, "Oh, you think that help you get a job as a talent agent?" But this is funny.
What does she think you're doing?
I don't know. I'll be placed. I'm like, I'm in Arkansas. She's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm doing a show at a college. She's like, oh, comedy? I'm like, yes. No, I'm teaching whitewater rafting classes. What are you thinking?
What does she think you do?
I don't know. I mean, so she said, will that help you get a job as a talent agent? But I did this tiny little blip in Time Out New York. It was like no picture, nothing. It was just like my name and the guy gave me this tiny little shout out. Her friend sent her that. And she emails me. She goes, when were you going to tell me about this? This is a big deal. And I was like, what is? And she was like, the Time Out New York. When were you going to tell me about this? And I was like, and she's like, this is a big deal. She's like, my friend Sue Cox sent it to me. She was very impressed. And I was like, did you tell her about Netflix? She's like, no. But when are you going to tell me about this?
You're on
like,
Crazy Ex-Girlfriend now.
And then she called me about that. And she said, she called me maybe a month ago. And she goes, she's like, any word on Crazy Ex-Girlfriend? And I was like, what do you mean? She's like, is it gonna happen? I'm like, no, it happened. I filmed it. I'm in it. Like, it's like as though I was like waiting to hear from him. I'm like, yeah, no, it's good to go. It's going. Like, I'm not waiting to hear. Like, it's
still, after all that, she still thinks you're going to be a talent agent.
I think it was, but I completely understand where she's coming from. It's out of concern. If my niece
People don't get what we do.
But I completely get that too. Like, if my niece was like, I want to go do something so unstable, I'd be like, you're going to be not that.
Well, I think
no painkiller pills.
I think I said this on the podcast once. Someone messaged me after I did Colbert, and they said, wow, great job on Colbert. So is this like a hobby? And I was like, what the fuck else do I have to do to... No. Now I'm going back to teaching drawing at Michael's Arts and Crafts. Like, what do you think I'm doing?
Yeah, I mean, but so she's, all in all, she's pretty good. She's pretty... I keep her like pretty abreast of like relationship stuff. Like I've been telling her about my like living situation, but I kind of like gloss over it because I'm still living with that ex, and she never liked that ex. She never did. She's got a great eye.
I can't tell if we lost the audience.
You know
on
what
this
people
story.
think? People think the people think I've been in like relationships and they'll be like, oh, you're a mama's person, and I'm like, yeah, it's my mom. You know,
I love my mom.
My mom can do no wrong, and that's just the end of it.
I love my mom. I talk to my mom every day.
Which I recognize.
I should have
that
my
could
grandparents
sound
on the
unhealthy,
show
but-
sometime. My grandma's wild. She loves Game of Thrones. She reads Star Magazine every day. She called me when Anna Nicole
Have
Smith
you ever
died.
introduced your like family to someone you're dating?
Mm-hmm. Yes, my one boyfriend I've ever had.
And was he nice to them? Was he polite?
He wasn't mean. No, he was nice.
Because I think that's so critical. Because I've introduced my mom to tons of people now.
I haven't
tons.
spoken.
I used to use my mom as like a thing because people would then meet my mom and be like, oh, and then I'd be like, gotcha. Like it'd be like another like, because they'd see me with my mom and be like, you're so funny, you're mad.
The thing with my family, though, is anyone Italian here?
But then they wouldn't be polite to my mom.
Here's the thing with Italian families. Like, first of all, I grew up in the same block as my like first 22 cousins. Like, we are all together all the time. It's my big fat Greek wedding. And Evan Williams brought this up to me. He's like, you don't realize that with Italian families, you don't realize when you meet them, you're walking into an audition.
Right.
And you get one audition. And if you fail it, they won't talk to you ever again. So, like, my family, like, to bring around my family, it's like, it's not just my mom. It's like, oh, this is my Aunt Cindy, my Uncle Mike, my cousin Kelly, her husband Andrew, my cousin Megan, her husband Wally, this is her 2 kids,
Right.
It's like 100, these are my grandparents, this is my other Uncle Mike, this is my Uncle Jack, this is my Aunt Stacy, this is my cousin, like, there's a million people you have to meet. And it's overwhelming and kind of shocking.
Yeah.
So,
Family's
maybe I'll
a
bring
big
the Spaniard around. He doesn't really speak English, so it might work in our benefit.
Totally.
I don't know. All right.
But thank you so much for asking. She's pretty. I would say she's like pretty good. She's pretty good.
Can we have your mom on the podcast sometime?
Yeah, we could.
I would love to.
Yeah,
because I don't think she sounds like Marge
She doesn't
Simpson.
talk anything like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, she's got like a good sense of
I'm
humor.
gonna work on
about
getting
this stuff.
Shadow on the podcast.
I just am curious. I wonder what. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I told her that I had a podcast, and she was like.
She's never gonna know what that is.
But then I like hit play one time, and I like heard her listening to it, and she was like, "Who listens to this?" I was like, "I don't know."
This whole room does.
I don't know.
I know. It's so nice. I'm like blown away. I love everybody in this room.
I don't think she meant it more as like a shade thing. I think she more was like, "What? Where does this like go to?" Like she thought it was like a long voice message or something. Because it's like playing out of the phone as though like so she's like, what are you doing? You send this to everybody in your phone book?
Can you imagine if we had to send it to people? Oh, that'd be so humiliating. All right. Well, I think that this is it, you guys.
Yeah, thank you so much for coming out.
Thanks so much for listening to the podcast. That's so nice of you.
Yeah, thank you.
I guess we'll hang out. If you guys want to meet, we'll hang out somewhere.
Yeah.
Where are we supposed to stand?
Well, I know there's another
we'll
show.
stand right over there.
Say hi over there.
There's
if you guys
show,
want, don't feel any
if you guys
pressure.
want to talk, yeah. All right. Bye, guys. Thank you.